am here with Congresswoman Maloney, my favorite Congresswoman. So you've got a lot of bills going. You also listened to the speech. What'd you think?
Well, I always try to be positive, Ellen. I'm a New Yorker, so I'm trying to figure out what we can do working together. I was pleased with his comments on infrastructure and investing in a major way in upgrading our bridges, roads, our infrastructure. We just opened in my district the first phase of the 2nd Avenue subway, first subway in New York in 60 years, the only major opening in the whole country. And I'd like to build it up to 125th Street and down to Houston Street, and I'd like to see that $1 trillion become a reality, and part of it dedicated to the building of the 2nd Avenue subway. We've only waited 100 years for it. Let's complete it and make it happen. I was pleased to hear that focus. I'd like to work on it. I'd like to make it happen. Secondly, he mentioned paid leave for the birth of the child. That's one of the first bills that I put in. I'd love to pass it and expand.
They have it in Sweden.
They have it in every country in the world, save two, Papua New Guinea and the great United States of America. I'd say it's about time we had paid leave for the birth of a child. We say we support families. Let's have family policies in place that truly do support families.
I know in New York you have been very active with families.
Oh, absolutely, and let's help our veterans. But I was disappointed. All they've done is repeal the Affordable Care Act. We have 1.6 million New Yorkers depending on it. Our seniors are depending on it for affordable drugs and help with their whole health care. And there was no specifics. There was no plan, nothing there. And yet many of the generalities sound good, but then how do you make them happen? When he talks about increasing military spending, everyone wants a strong country and strong military, but also reducing the deficit and cutting taxes. How do you make all of that add up? How do you make it happen without really deep cuts on services and needs of people? So there were many nice generalities, but the specifics are what is the reality, and it wasn't there.
Let me just ask another question about veterans, because I know you've been very active. Where do we need to put energy and money into veterans?
Well, we need to give them the support that they deserve. We're constantly fighting to hold on to the veterans' hospitals and the services that we have. Many of them are very sick when they come back and can't even get a job or affordable housing. The first veterans homeless shelter was built in the district that I represent at my urging, and they're an important population that needs more respect and more support. And I couldn't help but think that I thought we're wearing white today for women's suffrage, really respecting
You look beautiful.
The fight for the women to get the right to vote, and we will use that vote for policies that are important to American families. But I was hoping to see the first woman president up there presiding over us today, and I couldn't help but compare with President Obama. At this time in his administration, he had passed his financial plan to reverse the loss of jobs. At the time, we were shedding over 700,000 jobs a month. We'd passed the Lilly Ledbetter Act that helped improve pay.
I remember that day.
And we'd passed the Credit Card Bill of Rights, which happened to be my bill, and the Pew Foundation says that bill alone saves consumers over $10 billion a year. So President Obama had signed into law very deep and important legislative changes for consumers, for women, and for the overall economy to reverse it to a better standing as we did. We've had 85 straight months of economic growth, and no major piece has passed. I'm pleased with every plant that has stayed here that was going to leave. That's important. But in terms of major legislative proposals, it has not to make a bad pun with your radio station, it's been all talk and no action. So I think we need to see a little more concrete action in place there.
Congresswoman Maloney, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and just keep on talking about the important issues. I'm delighted to see you as always.